It hits.
And we're live, sports fans.
Okay, there we go. All right, so
wait for it to pour in.
Yeah, yeah. Jack, have you had time to watch?
Yeah, I've been watching it. I've been watching it again. Yeah, I've watched it no end of times. Obviously, getting up at 2 a.m. to do our after hours Acolyte review is absolutely amazing. I enjoyed it, to be fair. It just, I was saying this to the person I've just had a chat with then about podcasts and stuff like that. Is, you know, you do this sort of stuff because you enjoy it. And I do enjoy it. Even if I'm getting up at 2 a.m. and then going back to sleep at 4, half 4, and get up at 6. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it.
That's rough.
Yeah, okay. But now, yeah, I've watched it a few more times since. My mind is completely made up with what I think and where we're at with it. What about you, Jimmy? Have you watched it anymore?
I did. So when we did our original feed, Molly and I were in Vegas, like we've talked about, and so I was watching it on my laptop. And I was like, I need to see, some things looked a little wonky to me. Some of the ships and things like that looked a little bit weird. I was like, well, I don't want to pass judgment. Unlike most of social media, I didn't want to like pass judgment and then have to, you know, when I see it on a big screen, like, oh, that does make sense. And I am envious of those people who have seen it on the big screen, 1 and 2, and then some people have seen 3 and 4, I think, on the large screen. That's how Star Wars is meant to be. But yeah, so I got home last night at about 12:30 Central Standard Time when we woke up, and I told my wife, I was like, the first thing I'm doing when I wake up is I'm going to go make coffee, and I'm sitting down, and I'm going to rewatch the episodes. And so that's exactly what I did. I got up, I got my coffee made, and some of the things I thought originally stand true. Ed Friday says he's watched it again. Let me see. Here we go. Big Ed in the house. Welcome, Ed. Thanks for joining us, buddy. So
cool. But, yeah, we've got a few people joining us now. We're up to 4 at the minute. Again, like Jimmy just said, thank you to everyone that's joining us. As always, we're just gonna chat about the Acolyte. Let us know if you love it or if you hate it and why you didn't like it and why you did love it. That's what it's for. Nice little chat about the Acolyte. Hello there, Wayne. What's he just put there? He's put, hi, I watched both last night with the family. Yeah, funnily enough, Naomi mentioned that you were all sat down watching it. Let us know, Wayne, what you thought. Ed, yeah, always good. I took a bit of a beating this week at football. You can see all my bruises. That's probably because I woke up at 6 a.m. after 2 hours sleep. Wayne straight in there, look at the comment about the Acolyte, said he loved it. What did you love about it then, Wayne? What was the big thing for you? Like Jimmy was just saying there, my thoughts and feelings from what we did the other night haven't really changed from it. It's just cemented it more. I absolutely love the ships as well. We've got there Naomi. She put hi. It was really good. Good to see the Cooper Smiths in the house.
Yeah. The first family of the Force.
Yeah, first official family of Explore the Force. And prize winner.
It. Oh, that's right. That's right. Very good. We'll go through some of the comments we got on our socials this week. We can do some of that. Some private conversations with like Mike the Mailman and a good friend of mine, Danny, who will be, like I said, he and I are working on some stuff for the YouTube channel, not live stuff, but you know, and those two couldn't have been further apart as far as their love for it and hate for it. I will start off. The big thing for me, some of the dialogue was a little bit, not a ton of it. It wasn't like watching Attack of the Clones love scenes or whatever, you know, romantic scenes, not really love scenes, but romantic scenes, cringy. But some of it was just, I don't know, the delivery maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start this whole comparison thing to comparing shows to, but Andor's dialogue, man, like that
Written
is the
so
gold
well.
standard in Star Wars. I think
Yeah.
that, and it's got to be hard writing dialogue and delivering it. And I'm not an actor, obviously, or I wouldn't be doing this. Well, maybe I would be doing this. Who knows? But failed actor maybe. But yeah, some of the dialogue. Really, that's for me. People, I don't see. Just okay. I'm gonna let everybody know this too. Like I got online. I'm going through some of my stuff, and here we go. What do we got here? Wayne Cooper says Helen agrees with Jimmy. Yeah, it's a little ropey, and I think like it's the beginning. We don't know these characters yet.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it's like Yord. I am a robot. My name is Yord. Right? Like, but it's also his character too, I think. And people are just like, I don't like it now. But after 6 episodes, or how many episodes are we getting? 8 episodes, right? Maybe that's his character. Like we don't know any of these people are just bashing the crap out of this show. And I have been in, and I hate to say it, but I have been in a few arguments online. People just completely just bashing everything. Like, oh, it looks cheap. I'm like, it looks cheap. What are you talking about? I haven't seen anything. Now, some people are talking about like the ending of episode 2, the forest of, was it Kofu? Kofu was the Egyptian king or pharaoh. So, but they said that looked cheap. It's obviously a sound stage. Well, you can say that about the volume. I mean, unless they're out in the redwoods recording, I mean, things aren't going to look supernatural. But what's Wayne say?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Got a couple more here. To me, it felt like Star Wars, the atmosphere, presence, if you know what I mean. Yes.
I get that. I get that. And I thought that.
And I think that's why I wanted to wait. We, like I said at the beginning of this, is I watched it on a laptop, and I wasn't too sure about some of the CGI or some of the set pieces and the ships and things because I really couldn't see them. I didn't feel that well to really pass judgment. But yeah, I agree. I think that it looked really good. What's Wayne say here? Haters gonna want to hate. Absolutely. The negativity. And then Wayne agrees with Ed. So just the negativity around it, it kind of makes me sad. I don't know.
Yeah, I seen it with yours character, Charlie Bennett. Obviously, he said that comment about Anakin blowing up the Death Star, and people just jumped straight on that. And again, I agree with Charlie Bennett in what he said. The guy is ecstatic and excited to be in Star Wars. We've all been there where we said stuff when we're excited and thinking, oh, I didn't mean it like that. But technically speaking, Anakin did blow up the Death Star by chucking the Emperor down into the power conduit. So, he's probably got overexcited. And if I was like an advisor to Charlie or whatever, I'd say, you know what? Do not backpedal because, again, in some respects, you are correct. So I think haters are jumping on it because they know they're going to get the attention. Well, Wayne says that haters want to hate.
Yeah, it's just the same kind of nonsense as
it is.
Being mad with Kelly Marie Tran or I can never remember the woman who plays Reva, but attacking them because of a character. Back in the prequel days, people attacking.
I liked Reva.
I didn't think. I would have to disagree with you. I didn't think she delivered lines. She felt like Poe Dameron to me, where all she ever did was like scream all of her lines. I remember seeing like when I watched Dune 1, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot that Oscar Isaac can really act really well. Because I didn't see it in any of the Star Wars movies. He just yelled, and BB-8 and all this crazy stuff. So
yeah, well, that's the same. And then you got Moses as well.
Yes, Moses Ingram.
Moses Ingram.
And she's a classically trained, wonderful actress. Like I've seen her in other stuff. she was in something right before that was out, and I went and watched it. I honestly can't remember. And I mean, I was like, "Whoa, this girl's got some chops." And I just don't know if it translates. And that's the problem. It's just like, it's just like anything. It may not translate it for me personally, but I'm not gonna be like, "Well, Moses Ingram sucks as a human being because she can't deliver this line." I'm like, she's probably a pretty good human being. Naomi Cooper Smith says, "I'm excited to see red lightsaber person more." Yeah, people are calling them Zipperface, the Sith, the Acolytes. I mean, we don't know what he is. And of course, people are like screaming from the rooftop, "Oh, the Sith can't exist." We don't even know what this guy or this person, this being is yet. So I'm not going to sit there and cry about it. I am very curious. A lot of complaints. How do you guys feel about the twin thing being exposed so quickly? I know we talked about a little bit on the show. And maybe we are the ones who thought that was going to be a bigger plot point. Everyone's like, "Well, they've already shown this." Well, then it's not that big or that important, or it's going to help drive the story forward. You wouldn't be able to take. You could write it differently, right? Yeah. Don't have Osha get captured as quickly. And and every time she wakes up, you're not sure who it is or whatever. But I mean, it sounds like whatever happened on Brendok is going to be the real driving force behind this. And that's the story to push May and Osha in their directions. And then you got the whole thing with May over here with Zipperface or, the Knight of Ren wannabe or whatever. So I think there's still tons of story. People are like ripping it apart. And so let's see, what does Ed Friday say?
Scott, I was a bit burned back to see Carrie-Anne Moss killed off so early. Didn't expect that. That's also one of my things that I mentioned as well. Wayne's also said the same thing. He's sad to see Carrie gone so quick. We know we're going to get some flashbacks as well. Twins was the better option. Okay. I'm with Ed as well and Wayne. It was a bit, but at the same time, like I mentioned, we knew that was coming in that scene with what was put together on the trailers and the snippets that we seen, which didn't mean me a little bit. But we are going to see flashbacks, so we are going to see more of Carrie-Anne Moss. There's no way to get a superstar actor like that and just she's done within 2 to 3 minutes.
I did remember I said because of the way they spoke about things and even Amanda Lestenberg said like the first thing I did was fight Carrie-Anne Moss in Trinity, and I was like, oh god, I mean she's dead right off the bat then, like that's and so I do think though we're going to get some recaps. I'm assuming episode 3 is going to be Flashback City. Start setting up some of the stuff that's happened. I've heard some things, watching social medias today, and give a shout out to like Star Wars Meg and some of these other people who do a good job of reporting things. And she went through a bunch of stuff, and of course, you got the top of the pinnacle of Star Wars hate, like Geeks and Gamers talking about episode 3 and the flashbacks and some of the things that are going to happen in it. And I don't want to spoil any of that because I don't know if any of it's true or not, but this is where they're saying like they've changed the Force forever. And I just think some of these people aren't as educated as far as the High Republic and realizing that like even the Night Sisters, like if the Night Sisters changed what the Force was, I don't know if they changed the Force, they added to the Force, they added to the lore. It's just mind boggling to me how people can, and it's just one word here or one view there, like, well, they're ruining this or they're adding to it. Like, which is it going to be for you? And me personally, I used to be like a prequel hater kind of, and I was kind of like, well, no, it added to the story. And I do think that watching the Clone Wars has helped a ton to fix massively.
Yeah.
Oh, those were awesome, Wayne. He says, just want to mention the pilot seat that turned into droids. I thought those were pretty cool. So you could just sit down and you could fly it yourself for those. I thought that was a inspired design. Never seen anything like that. They're ruining Star Wars because seats are robots now and droids. Right? But I thought that was awesome. Like, I just like, oh, I've never seen that before.
I'll agree with you on that. I think the design for the droids being the pilots and the seats was phenomenal. However, the design around the ship, not so great, as in how easy it was for them to escape when they put a prisoner in that's hacking the droids that are the pilots. I was a little like, oh, they could have thought about that a little bit more, but it is what it is with Star Wars. You know, there is wacky stuff in there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, you would think they would know what kind of aliens and species they have on there, what they're capable of, and maybe put Radiohead in a secluded box where he can't transmit, or put a helmet on. I don't even know what the hell that thing was. That's head popped off. Mohawk monster, it like ripped up and comes out. Like, so maybe know what kind of creatures you're hauling if you're going to.
But you mentioned creatures. I mean, how many different kinds of alien did we see in the first episode, let alone with both of them? So many different species. You imagine the costume department. Oh my days, how busy they must have been, and the makeup department. Holy smokes! And they were incredible. It reminded me of A New Hope cantina scene. Again, with all the different types of aliens, a nice new introduction. Helen says yes, some bits were naff. What bits does Helen think were naff?
Yeah, I want to know.
Yeah,
because I think you're allowed not to love everything. Like,
of course,
I don't, but like I said, dialogue's a little bit smidge. I think some of the ships look a little funky. I don't know if they look.
We said it. I'm a massive fan of the Acolyte. You know how big of a fan I love it. But again, I still picked holes in both of the episodes, but it doesn't mean I don't like it. There's always things. Everyone's going to critique something. Nothing's perfect, but the feedback can always be constructive. And like I just mentioned there, the escape plan of the prisoners was a big one for me. I was like, oh, man, that sort of did let me down, so to speak. Well, that's fine. That's, again, part of Star Wars. It's not always going to be perfections. Another thing that I absolutely loved in the Acolyte again was how lightsaber trigger happy that everyone was, especially Yord.
I mean, as soon as a slight breeze, he's going for his lightsaber. Want to kill something? Something moved. And I think that again, like, we don't know these characters well enough yet to know, like, if something happened or whatever. But
I still don't trust him.
Kind of hits him and says, like, don't let your fear cloud your judgment. And there's so many times, and we mentioned this on the recap with Marie. If you guys haven't watched our recap show, we had Marie Bernadette on there from So Much Life. Go check her stuff out. But we're talking about, like, how many times Yord's face just falls because he's crestfallen, and, like, I think he's on the path of the dark side personally, because I mean, you can only take so much getting kicked around by everyone around you before you finally just snap and go all postal on everybody.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Helen's got back to us, or Wayne asked for Helen. She thinks dialogue, prisoner escape, totally with you, and the way Carrie died was a bit naff. Now, we did mention actually the way that Carrie or Master Indara did die, and we said, didn't we, it was very Jedi-like. A master like her was only going to die by sacrificing herself. That's probably the only fitting way for her to die. I totally get it. I'd have loved to see more of her, and I guarantee you, Leslie Headland even thinks that or thought that. And we definitely haven't seen the last of Carrie Ann Moss wielding a lightsaber. No way. What do you reckon, Jimmy?
I can't. Like I said, I think that we're in for some flashbacks in the next.
Yeah.
From everything I've heard and just the way the story's going, they have to give us. It's time to, like, feed the audience a little bit, and so, we're buying in on these characters. Hopefully, I'm not sure they're that compelling yet to where I'm, like, super concerned that they all live. Like, if Yord dies tomorrow, I don't care. But but yeah, I think we're getting flashbacks. I'm not sure how much fighting and stuff like that we're going to see.
Lots.
And I'm trying to keep what I've heard and read, and, like, none of it's like confirmed. I will be confirmed next Tuesday. But so
yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of fight scenes because Leslie Headland has already mentioned in quite a few interviews the amounts of lightsabers that are used. Wayne's put there, felt her fight scene could have been better. And as well, Naomi has also put, I thought she died too easily as well. Interesting comment. I'll just go back to that one. What do you reckon about that? Do you reckon the fight scene could have been better?
I think if we hadn't seen the whole fight scene in trailers, that people would have.
Yes.
Because, Wayne, I'm going to ask you this. The first time you saw those clips, like Jack and I don't know, Wayne, if you were at Celebration or not, but when we were at Celebration, we saw like 2 seconds and barely any of the fighting. And I was like, oh, like, and I know Jack came out because he saw it before I did in one of the panels, and I got to see it like the next day. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that was nuts. I can't wait. And then, of course, over these last few weeks, they just keep sprinkling more and more and more. And they showed almost the entire fight of Soul and May. And I'm just like, man, and that's what I also said in the thing. Like, so all the fight scenes we have coming now on are better. Wayne, do you think it was not as good because you had watched it a bunch of times? Like I watched those scenes. I mean, 5 or 6 times at least, I mean, if not more, watch those fight scenes. So, I mean, for me, it was like,
I totally.
Helen. So, and then I thought she died too easily. Naomi says, I think kind of. I know there's some talk about like, people getting run through with lightsabers versus, you got stabbed in the heart. But that dagger was like all the way into her chest. And we saw blood.
That was very deep.
And I think that I can kind of see why you think that, Naomi, too. Like, I can kind of agree with you. Like, I mean, a character that strong, but I think what they're trying to show was, what they always talk about the Jedi, they're always going to help other people and put themselves in danger.
Yeah, got a lot of compassion, haven't they?
And then just got, the compassion is going to be their downfall.
Yeah. So. But no, I totally agree with what you said. And I said it as well, didn't I? That they did preview way too much of the first episode, and what they did preview, you'd argue, is probably the best bits of the episode. Yeah, I get it to draw people in, but so I am looking forward to episodes. Well, the rest of the season, to be fair, because we haven't seen anything. I'm hoping they don't do what they did with the Bad Batch as well, where they give you like a little snippet for 10 seconds. I'd rather not have that either, personally, if I'm honest.
I may just block it or unsubscribe from StarWars.com for a bit until Anthony Goodman's here. Whoop. Anthony.
Hello, Anthony.
How's it going, bud? Thanks for joining us. That was actually Helen. Just felt she should have seen it coming despite the sacrifice. Was over too quick, too soon for me. Yeah. I mean, I get that. I can see it. I thought it kind of paid off. Compassion. She gets stuck, and maybe we'll want her to get it, depending on what they did on Brendoke or whatever too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like part of not, not having the entire season laid out in front of us makes it difficult because if they're telling stories like Dave Filoni tells stories, think about the season payoff. Like something happens in like the Purgles. Think about Purgles in Rebels. This is the stupidest episode. This is filler. Blah 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 blah. And then of course you got them showing up at the end of Rebels. You got them in the Ahsoka thing, and then they're doing their job. So maybe I hope. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. And everyone, like I said, everyone's got their, I support you if you think that ended too soon. I do personally think that it felt that way because we had seen the whole dang thing.
I think so. I think that's what it'll all come down to. But like you're saying as well, Jimmy, we've got to remember that this season, Leslie Headland's direction that she mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, she said that she wants us to view it from the point of view of the Sith as to why the Jedis are the bad guy. And you keep saying it. Something they've done is bad. And I think it will turn heads. And I think it will divide the Star Wars universe. And I will think we will have that cohort of Jedis and Sith.
Yeah, this whole thing, and again, we don't know what happened. We don't know what those 4 Jedi have done. But I think it goes into the fact, like if you're reading the High Republic and some of the things that we've seen, and even in the
Yeah,
Living Force book, which I finally finished, yay, that was a good read,
good
and
one. It's
listen.
great.
But then we got Mace Windu's, was it the Glass Abyss? I think's coming. Like
Yes.
the Jedi are not perfect. They're still sentient beings. There's no way for them to be perfect. There's none. If they were all perfect and godlike, it wouldn't be a very fun show. And
Yeah.
what would you do? So I think that people put them on this pedestal. That's unfair because they're still human. They're trying to get rid of their emotions, but you
Yeah.
can't. I mean, you can't get rid of your
No.
emotions. So
No, not all. It just can't be done. Helen's got a good point there. So Helen's intrigued why May thinks the Jedi are so bad, and why both twins thought they were dead. That's a very good point. I don't think we spoke about that. It's a good point. Why do both the twins think that each other are dead?
yeah, and I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah,
Whenever I was like, yeah, it makes sense. Everyone thinks May's dead because everyone said they've seen her die. But then
yeah,
when May is like, Osha's dead, I'm like, wait, what? Like, why do you think that? So, I think I think I mentioned a little bit. It might be sort of a whoever this zipper face the bad guy is. Maybe they're trying to tap into that hate, that anger
yeah. Of
of
course.
her sister being gone, sort of like Palpatine at the end of Revenge of the Sith. Like, no, you
Yeah,
killed her, and Anakin, like, he destroys all that stuff because his rage and anger. But yeah, I think that Helen is actually, I think that's the story. Like, I
yeah,
think that's the story. I think people are like so focused on this twin thing, and I think that's just you got your light and your dark, and you're going to have whatever happens. But I think that that's the story. I think you hit it. You hit the nail right on the head
yeah.
there.
I
I
think
think
so.
that's the story that's going to drive, and then those are going to springboard each one because we really don't know much about Osha either. Like, why did she leave the order? She obviously is not very powerful, right? She's reaching out for Pip, trying to use the Force, and he doesn't even budge.
No.
I mean, her twin, who wasn't trained by Jedi, is like killing Jedi. So
Yeah, yeah. Anthony Goodman's just laughing at your comment about zipper face.
I heard
Uh,
that on something. I'm not going to take credit for it. Um, but yeah, he does kind of look like he has a zipper face.
Helen says, "Did May really start the fire?"
I have to think that Torben might have something to do with
The
what
fire.
happened. And
Well, we
again,
know
I'm
there's
trying.
four Jedi. There's four Jedi, isn't there, she's out to kill. Obviously, we've come across Master Indara, Carrie-Anne Moss, gone. Master Torben, spoiler alert, dead. Next one, Kalnaka. So that's three. So three of those we know. Four. Who's going to be the fourth one? I don't think it's going to be Yord because of his age. It's definitely not going to be Jackie because of her age. I think it could be Master Sol because maybe he's got some guilt and that's why he took Osha in. Or I think it might be Vanestra.
See, I remember saying something like that to like Johnny Olaf. Like, is Vernestra like has she snapped? Because she seems real bothered by politics and stuff that I don't feel like she would have worried about at all. Well, I guess at the beginning of her story, she is very like worried about what everyone thinks about her,
Mm,
and then of course she kind of goes on her own after the fall of Starlight. Yeah, I want to know what happens more with her, and we won't until the phase 3 is over. But yeah,
yeah.
I had mentioned something to that. I think when we left Celebration, and Johnny and I were talking one day, and I was like, "What if Vernestra is the acolyte because she's had it with the way things are going, like a Barris Offee kind of thing
Could you
where
imagine?
oh I people who love Vernestra the way that like myself and a lot of other people that I know that read the High Republic would be pretty upset as long as they can sell it and they can show us why. Then I'm for it. Like I'm not writing these stories, but show me why. I would be down. The
Yeah,
black thing, Naomi, the eyes go black. We've seen that in the. That was the first time we've seen it in the show, but we've seen a
yeah,
couple of clips. We know that Master Torben's eyes go dark.
yeah.
Um, and somebody else's I think we've seen. So
I think it was yours. Off the top of my head.
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, maybe there was already Sith, and the twins saw a few Jedis turn bad, saw them fight, and so. Okay.
Might be as simple as that, Ed, but I don't think it will. Not with Star Wars, surely not. Surely not. What's that?
Oh, sorry. So Anthony Goodman says Vern definitely feels way off compared to the books. Yeah, I agree with you. She's so I don't know. She's so worried about this whole politics thing, and the Jedi. I mean, are they already wrapped up into it? They're already that deep. You know, like if they're that deep, then Palpatine's not going to have that much work to do when he comes in. He's born in, was it 84 BBY, I think, something like that, like the timeline. So he's not around yet, but I mean his work is being done for him if that.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the case.
But yeah, I can't agree with you more, Anthony. I do think that she feels off. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, why can't I get this to come up?
Well, Wayne's put a nice little comment. There we go. I'm sure it was said that Soul was one of them. That's maybe where I've got it from then.
What's that?
That's maybe where I've got it. What Wayne said, I'm sure it was said that Soul was one of the Jedi that they're trying to kill.
Yeah, because I think Osha said.
In fact, it is. No, you're right. It is because that's why she fought him and didn't try to kill him with weapons. She was using her hands at first. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, because that's what the Acolyte guy wants her to do. For some reason, you can't use weapons.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't kill them
without
using. Yeah, but there was 4, so it's only Kalnaka and Soul that's left.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do think it's good that there's literally no idea who the Sith is. People, especially me, people love nothing more than thinking, who could the Sith be? Is it going to be Barriss? It's not.
I was just going to make that. Yeah, we can't fall back on Barriss anymore. Man, what are we going to do? But yeah, I don't know.
I've got no idea.
I don't think we know enough yet. I will say that how do you say the guy that's working with me, Chimere?
Chimere.
He handled May pretty easily when she tries to stab him for like she has killed Master Indara. She has snuck around and through Jedi Temple. She has she didn't really, Soul kind of owned her, but she fought pretty well. And then she goes to stab this drunkard guy, and he handles her.
Or she was teasing him.
But like, there's more to his story too. Like, he's not just as simple as. So.
But again, with all the Jedi, when they've seen him and confronted Chimere, you'd think that one of them would have said something. But then, like Yoda says, that the dark side clouds everything. So
yeah, maybe, I don't know. So
Naomi there saying that was some cool fight scenes. I think all the fight scenes were cool, personally. Yeah, I get what we're saying about it was a bit short and people were dying too easily, etc., etc. But I think every time there was a fight scene, it was awesome because it was like, well, we said it and we've trademarked it, force food. There's nothing cooler than
I heard someone else use that term, and I'm like, no, man, I should have gotten that. Dang it. So,
but I think overall, first 2 episodes are off to a really, really good start, personally. I feel like everything's been connected so far, story-wise. It's going across nicely. I think the only next thing I want to bring up is how useless the 2 Jedi of what Jedi we saw were at the temple. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that
1 minute it was watching them, next minute it was talking to someone, and then it was like, oh, they're gone. It's like, what are you even watching them? I thought that was absolutely shocking. Wayne's just come in there. He says that's what were May's blades made of. I haven't got a clue, if I'm honest.
Because they sliced him up. Indara slices them up, so they're not made out of.
Beskar.
Yeah, that's the word, Beskar. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
choking the water here.
Yeah, not sure what the blades are made out of. Good point there. You know, they've not been chopped up by the lightsabers, so yeah, we know they got chopped up by a lightsaber. Sorry, so we know they're not Beskar. I'd like to see a Mandalorian or two in this. To be fair, because at this point in time, I guess the Mandalorians would be at the peak almost.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the timeline because none of that stuff like the 9,000 Tears or whatever doesn't happen until after the Empire takes over. So this would be, well, this is way before. This is 100 years, 75 years probably.
Peak.
Yeah,
before Clone Wars as well. But interesting.
Oh, this is a good point.
Yeah.
So Wayne says they said something about Jedi not being killed by steel and something else. They said that was lasers, right? Lasers and steel or something. When
yes.
He's talking about, so like you can't fight him with you can't fight with a lightsaber. So yeah, I wonder. Is that a plot hole that we're gonna have to deal with? Like, she's killing them with that, or yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and get mad about it until until it's over, and we'll recap the whole season and stuff. But yeah, that could be a plot hole. They did say that. I know that when May's walking up to her master, he's saying that stuff about the Acolyte kills the dream, and so that could be. But I'm sure if it's vital to the story, hopefully they'll bring it to our attention what those things are made out of, or something like that as well.
Where she's getting them from.
Yeah, because she went and she got them. Like, she went down and she grabbed that second one from the bartender, so they are important to her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think there might be a big plot twist in those as well. I think just going back to Quimera as well, there's more than to meets the eye with him. Obviously, he's a master of poisons to a degree. I'm interested to see some backstory on him.
Do you think we'll get it?
Potentially. I mean, this Sith or this Acolyte, he may just be trying to recruit people from this disaster or whatever's happened wherever. Brock, is it Brock? I can't remember the planet. Brundok. Yeah. So maybe it's easy pickings for a Sith to recruit. Who knows? But yeah, 2 episodes in, I'm loving it. And the only other thing to really talk about, Jimmy, is the ships. Because I know obviously in Kenobi there was a few about ships, but in this as a whole, I've enjoyed the ships. I think they look great. It sounded great. The High Republic Jedi Starfighter looked wicked when that came in.
That was very cool, and I hope that's not the only time we see one.
Yeah, some space battles in this.
I hope so. That's but I didn't. The Nimordian ship looked a bit wonky to me. I mean, I like the way the ships look. They don't look Star Warsy. Am I allowed to say that without hating the show? Can I say that? I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say before people say, "Well, I hated everything," but I just, I don't know. Like, especially the ship that the Jedi were in. That was, on that planet of Kolnak.
Yeah,
in that snow planet. That didn't look Star Warsy to me, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. Like, oh well, boo-hoo for me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think as well in terms of Jedi, and I said it again on our After Hours thing, is I think Jackie's got potential to be bigger or as big as Ahsoka. Yeah, well, she was as well, Ed.
So Ed said they don't want to see too many flashbacks. Just cram it all into one episode, not everyone. Oh, not all the episodes. Yeah. I don't know. I think from the stuff that I've heard, the people who have watched the first 4 episodes, next one is supposed to really challenge us as fans. We'll see if that's just preemptive hate being spread, and then 4 is like the ultimate out of these first four. Lots of people love it, but I think it's episode 4 has been everyone's favorite. So I feel bad for those people who have watched 1 through 4 because you're sitting there for a month or 3 weeks. Oh no, it'll be a month before you saw something new. So, I mean,
probably more for some people in the States because it was longer.
Oh no, I'm a hater, Wayne. No.
Wayne's got him. Wayne's got him.
I hate everything Star Wars because they didn't do the ships right. Dang it. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So,
but yeah, get back to what Ed said. I don't want to see too many flashbacks. I said that, but at the same time, I think they're going to need it to tie some of the story up and make sense of stuff. So it is what it is. With that.
Ed, would you prefer flashbacks or conversations to set things up? So do you want a conversation to talk about the past, or would you rather see it spread out a little bit? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Anthony's with me. Yeah, I was getting vibes from Jackie as well, Jack. She's definitely a standout for me. I think her character is going to explode on a Star Wars scene in terms of cosplay.
Oh, for sure. That's got to be a cosplay. You know, those really, it's some talented people out there. That's got to be like the next big thing is coming out as a feeling. We know that our friend Marie, she's back ordered. I was talking to her after the show, and she said she's back ordered for like 8 months doing High Republic stuff. So,
yeah, I love seeing all the different alien Jedi. I was thinking about this today because obviously I've been playing that new Star Wars game as well, Hunters. How would you feel, Jimmy? And in fact, I'll ask everybody, and this includes you, Jimmy. How would you feel about a Jedi that's a droid?
Oh, I saw that character. Want to see it, but not never. Yeah, I think so. And I think if like we get some in episode 3, and then maybe we get some more in like episode 6 or 7 to kind of fill in some of the gaps. But robot. Well, I just watched that movie.
We've had a droid Sith, haven't we?
Have we?
Yeah, Grievous. He was a cyborg.
Oh well, was he a Sith though? He was just kind of. I don't know. It's funny because I just watched that Netflix movie Atlas, and it was all about AI with J-Lo, and the conversation is like, do you have a soul and not? So, but I'm not sure.
But then again, Yoda said it. The Force resides in every living thing. So a droid Jedi, would it make sense?
I'm gonna say probably not, but I don't know.
So,
I've been wrong lots in my life. So
my backup to that though is, what about the droid from Solo?
L337.
Because didn't her? I might be wrong here by saying this. Was it her memory or data that was transferred into the Falcon, or was it her consciousness?
It was her data, like her navigation computer stuff was transferred into it. But that's supposed to be a callback whenever C-3PO says your ship has a weird way of communicating, Yeah. But let's see what we got here. So Wayne Cooper Smith says no. Then Ed Friday says Atlas, aka Titanfall. Yeah, absolutely. No droid Jedi. So
interesting. But maybe I'm taking the hate off you then, Jimmy.
Oh yeah, you're a hater because now you don't want sentient beings being Jedi. You want droids. Such a hater, Jack.
I don't think I'd mind a droid Jedi. I don't think I would.
What we got here? Yes, I can't agree more. We know I love a Wookiee, so I'd like to see more of the Wookiee Jedi. Yeah. Do you think he's gonna die next episode? Like, is that it?
I don't know. Like, we've waited so long to see a live action Wookiee Jedi. Give us more.
R2 with a lightsaber.
Well, he carried Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as wielding it. So, but overall, everybody in this chat, we'll probably finish up with this. give us your score. I know people send some stuff on social media to us too, but what did you score? How many pips out of 10 are you giving the first 2 episodes? How many pips? And that thing can be torn in half, so don't feel bad for it. You know, we saw pop the head off, and they're gonna make a killing on that thing on the toy market.
Oh God,
up. I want one.
Yeah. How many pips out of 10 are we scoring episode 1 and 2? I think for the first one I went 9. I'll still stick with that. And I think the second one I went 7.5, I think, or 8. I can't remember off the top of my head.
You both went 9 and then 8. And I was at 8 and then 7 or 7.5 for. So
Anthony Goodman just cracks me up. Honestly, absolutely cracks me up. So Wayne's come in. Him and his lovely wife Helen have both said 7. Anthony Goodman, classic, 7.8 pips out of 10. So he literally did take the head off Pip. I don't know what score Ed's going for, but he's just gone Pip, Pip, Pip. And then finally Wayne still said it still liked him. Yeah, completely. Just because you're giving it, I don't even think it's a low score, if I'm honest. Just because you're giving it a score of 7 like I did on the second one. I still enjoyed both the episodes. I'm still on an absolute high for more Acolyte. I still can't wait for more. So yeah, I'm still absolutely buzzing. Any more people in the comments? Just drop your scores in before we start wrapping the live broadcast up. Wayne's also said that Pip's the best character so far. Definitely up there. Ed's just come in and said episode 1, 9, episode 2, 8. Yeah, happy days with that. And I think, Jimmy, that's going to pretty much wrap it up there. So, yeah, as always, again, check out our after hours reaction with myself, Jimmy, and our special guest. Lots and lots of talking points. Again, thank you all so much for not only joining us tonight, sticking with us as always, but also commenting on our posts on all our social medias. Again, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, Threads, and YouTube. Explore the Force, all one word. Please, as I know a lot of you do, especially you, Ed, spread the word out about us. Let's get more members. Let's reach 600 subscribers. Well, 600 subscribers would be brilliant. Let's reach 600 followers over on Instagram. I want to try and get to 400 on Facebook. I definitely want to get to 300 subscribers on YouTube. Once we get to 600 on Instagram, I'm going to run another prize giveaway. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Jimmy, any last thoughts, comments?
No, I'm looking forward to episode 3, man. I can't wait.
Cool. Happy days. Again, thank you so much then, guys and girls. Keep eyes out on the socials. Make sure you check out this week's episode on your podcast provider, and also look out on YouTube for that one when that gets dropped. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Take care, and may the Force be with you all.
See you next week.